Good morning, ladies. It's your old pal Brian. It's perhaps September 26th, and we're in Sandusky, Ohio. There's the decorated RV, ignore the garbage. People ask me why I like campgrounds, and I'm like, well, not only do I like full hookup, but I like having access to garbage. Beautiful dog. Turns out he's cool, or as best I can tell. That's a soybean field. Or is
Welcome to AX. Switch warning. Throttle hold. Flaps at low rates. Stabilization off.
as my friend says,
Stabilization on.
once you see a bean field, you know you're in the armpit of America. I don't know that I necessarily agree with that. But, definitely in the breadbasket. There's about 7 or 8 states that comprise America's breadbasket, and Ohio is one of them. So we're here 5 days. We got 2 or 3 days without rain, and then the rains come, and that's gonna color how our world is. Let's see if I get busted. Good morning. What's that? Right in a small area in front of me. These way farther than I can ever see. Miles. But no, just right in front of me. You got that all right? Yeah, it's probably a good idea, isn't it? That's why I put those cones out. Somebody told me that they attract people, though. See ya. There's a crusty dude. So, yeah, I'm glad he's doing that because people haul ass down that road and it's annoying. That's cool. I didn't get busted. I've never actually been busted. Well, I kind of got busted one time. It's a little funny. I think mildly functionally retarded lady, I forget her name now, out at Yosemite National Park, or Yosemite Campground that is. She saw me flying my little helicopter.
Telemetry lost. Telemetry recovered. Throttle active.
And said words to the effect to me, well, you know, they're not really allowed. And I says, well, your boss, you know, watches me on YouTube, so I think I am. But yeah, it was kind of funny because she's going to kind of squash my ability to fly, but the reality is that her dog ran out and bit my wife. And you're gonna tell me I can't fly my whirly gig at camp? Well, your freaking Australian marsupial dog came out and bit me, or my wife. I don't think that's allowed at camp. In fact, the only reason we never turned her in was because you never know how relationships go. And although my wife got bit, it was just a barely break of the skin. I actually tore a hole in her blue jeans. I think you got to pay big bucks for that now. So yeah.
4 minutes.
It's gonna be a nice place to fly. You know, it says 60% chance of rain, like, I don't know, Monday, and you know, the weather's the worst. It'll lie. Cold front's coming through, so if it rips through, it may clear. You just never know. We thought about taking a boat out to, there's a couple islands, do like a half a day trip. So we need to discuss that, because I think we might be able to do that tomorrow if they're running. So, yeah. I gotta tell you, Google Earth and Google Maps is probably some of the most important stuff to us campers, because not only do you have a real good idea where you're going, but what to do when you get there.
3 minutes.
You know, I'm able to look at the campground and not always see farm fields. You know, you actually never really know what you're looking at sometimes because of, you know, crops and that sort of thing. You know, I was in the Anacortes KOA, and there's just no place to fly a little airplane like this, even though there's a field right next to it, bunch of no trespassing signs. And as good as I'm getting, relatively speaking, you end up with a situation where you got to go get your airplane, and you don't want to be trespassing doing it. I was discussing with a friend of mine about the bean field here, and he said, well, it should just land on top. I'm like, yeah. I have to send a drone up to find the damn thing.
2 minutes.
But yeah, time change. We're back in Eastern Daylight Time. And that changes, I think, November 1. Leave here Tuesday and arrive in New Stanton, Pennsylvania, or something like that. Probably 250 miles from here. We'll be there for 5 days. It looks like a pretty park, and it looks like it might have some open space next to it. It's so funny. You really don't realize how unsquare your little airplane is that you built, and you really build these until you fly it directly at you or directly away from you. And you're like, oh man, that bitch is not square, but it flies.
1 minute.
Seeing new names at the What Did You RC Today web forum thread, and that's very encouraging. You know, you're creating an atmosphere where people don't mind coming to visit. Those snarky ass personalities have died down, and that is nice, because as much as I appreciate it as a community, it gets old having the same 4 guys post. You know, Tennessee River Lover, he's another southerner that just, we don't care, we're gonna post and have a good time. Hooty hoo. South representing. Makes me happy as hell. I love it when that guy comes on. So yeah, really nice that we're having enough, you know, things get mixed up a bit.
Timer 1 elapsed.
All right, let's bring her in. I always give myself a minute of fudge factor.
Throttle hold.
Tweak! Oh, I gotta put a new prop on here. My prop is bent. Ah, man, when I get back, I need to do that.
Telemetry lost.
Well, believe it or not, it's hard. You stretch the rubber band. I really need to put another rubber band on there, although it's behaving. Man, oh man, those rubber bands are tight on there. And what's happened is I've actually done a little bit of damage to the airplane.
Telemetry recovered. Throttle switch warning.
By dropping it while trying to put a prop on it.
Throttle active.
Taking off. it's nice to be able to fly here. I kind of didn't think that was going to happen this morning, or yesterday, for this morning. Worry about the sun being in my eyes and dropping this thing in the soybean field, which still is a distinct possibility. So yeah, gonna head out to the, they got some parks on Lake Erie. I'm gonna head out this morning and do that.
4 minutes.
Gotta figure out whether we're gonna carry the pup with us or not. Sometimes it's nice being non-parents. We shall see how that goes. We have this abnormal affinity for her and just don't like to leave her be. We just love her so much and enjoy her company. I've discussed this before. It's weird. It's almost like being a kid in that you, when you're a kid, you get to spend, and I'm talking about non-school age or maybe summer age, where you got summers off. You get to spend all the time in the world with your dog. And for that, I'm super grateful as an adult. And it's going to just be heart-wrenching when it's time to do what we all have to make the decision to do
8 minutes.
in the coming years. And you got to think about that. You got to prep your mind. It may seem morose and untimely, but that's just not how it works. My kid just had to go through this. He had a dog for 15 years, man. 15 years, half his life. And he called me up and it's just killing him. And all I can say to him is that it is his time, his being Jello's, and my son. You got to, handle it like an adult. Luckily, his girlfriend, who, with all things considered, seems to be just a lovely human being. She made the call, and the folks at whackyourdog.com, they're really amazing. A vet comes to your house with an assistant. They do something really neat. They come with a clay bar to do an impression of your dog's paw, and they sit down with you. This is a couple hours now. And a vet's a doc. They got a doctorate, and they sit down and they cry with you, and they lovingly give your dog something for anxiety, because the dog knows something's going on even though they're sick, and it calms